Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, when I found my art, ne, when I was still in the orphanage. So my first song I ever wrote was Tina. Tina asipe mitsango. So I was one of the first black people to play pipes at a professional level. And then while I was working at TBWA and Hunt Lascaris, Gareth Cliff, he personally came and then he took me in to be to be a trainee producer with I remember doing a song with Proverb. I must tell you.
Proverb.
Yes, I did a song with Proverb. It was called "This Is My Sad Song." You know when someone is talented and then they're not getting where they are supposed to go, they get depressed, they get suicidal, and then I won't and then I ended up taking drugs. Anywhere in South Africa, you'd find talent that is so raw, beautiful talent,
Rah.
but that talent is not exposed because the industry at the time, it was very selective as to who gets to play where and with who. This song was trending, and then people were posting videos on TikTok with that song. You understand? And then we didn't know about the rights of music. What do we need to
Oh
do to copyright?
no.
One of those kind of things. Yeah. So basically, music here in SA, it's all about who you know. It's not really about the talent you have. Because the more we speak about it, the more people get to know
Ukuthi
ukuthi
kwenzakalani.
kunzima out there. And then it doesn't mean that if umuntu they are now poor, they have no money, they are living on the streets, it doesn't mean ukuthi the talent is gone.
Sanwanani, welcome to another episode. This show is dedicated to all types of artists to share their stories, experiences, and challenges they face in the entertainment industry.
This saga continues.
Stay with us.
Hi everyone. I hope ni right sibuyile kwakhona. Ngihleli no Tash Alabaster. I know what you're thinking. Oops. Tash, all right?
Ngikrencho.
Yeah.
Mnandi. Thank you. Just the cold weather outside.
Yeah, it is cold, but ugqoke kancane.
Uyazi into zeshower nje one time in the shower ngiphuma sengiwarm vele sengikrent.
But then when you're outside, yeah, kotola foods. Well, by the way, Tash, who is Tash Alabaster? And why is Tash Alabaster?
Okay, mina I was born KZN. Basically, I grew up really I gained conscious really as a street kid. You're born back in the days during the apartheid. People had lots of parents had they threw away their kids. Some of them lost their kids. So I was one of those situations where ukuthi umama wangithatha wangisa kubabami, ubabami angangifuni. You understand? And I can't say really ubabami, maybe stepmother, yabo. So she didn't want me, or the father. So I ended up in an orphanage at a very, very young age. Yeah. At a very young age, I ended up in an orphanage, and then through staying at an orphanage, I was able to get white people who took me in to be part of their family. Bruce Howard and Debbie Howard. Yeah, they took me in to be part of their family. Took me out, took me to a private school. Yeah, well.
Okay. Didn't see this coming. But you grew and then kwafika ke idlozi lobu artist.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, I found my art when I was still in the orphanage. So at this orphanage, basically, sponsors used to come in and they bring toys. So all the kids had toys to play with. So I was taken to the toy room one day, and then I was told, you can take any toy you want in here. Then I took this small little piano, It's a tiny little piano. It played with four times AA batteries.
Okay.
So I would take that piano, and it had a little rope. So I used to put it around my neck, and then I used to play. I remember
No,
my
man.
first
How old
song.
were you?
My first song. I was what? I was 8. Yeah, I was around 8, 7, 8 years of age. Yeah. So I had this little piano around my neck, and I used to play because we're staying in an orphanage, and then at the time that orphanage, they didn't have much. They didn't have food. The walls were broken, and the lady who took that building, she basically hijacked the building and then saw the kids living on the streets, and then brought them into the into Leo and into the orphanage. So my first song I ever wrote was Tina, Tina, Asipe Mintango. It's like simple notes on a keyboard. So I used to go around playing that every day, all
No,
the
man.
time.
How old were you?
Because I was like 8, 7, 8. Yeah.
No.
Serious, true.
Like, kuleyo age leyo so
Yeah.
khona uku-create something.
I was able to create music. I was able to sing, and I had a beautiful voice even at that time. I used to sing even when the white people when the white people came, and those days also was during apartheid. Really, it was during the turn of democracy from the old government to the new government. Yeah, so the white people used to come, so they used to sing with us, and usually I was the one who used to start the song sometimes. Yeah, and all the kids were small. Yes, we were all young kids. I think the eldest there, the oldest kid was like what, 13.
Really?
Yeah, so a bunch of young kids, and so this white lady, she just collected all these children living on the streets, and then she brought us into a kids haven for us to start a life. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I had this little piano, and then I was playing Tina Asipe Minsango. And then I fell in love with music, and then I found Uguti Tina. I can actually play the keyboard, and I'm pretty good at it. Yeah, so when my family came looking for someone they can take in as part of their family, so they took me with my skills, and then I remember it was my first time in an aeroplane. So to write my entrance exams, I went in an aeroplane for the first time. I smiled all the way to Kimberley.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then when I got to Kimberley, then I was in a white school, but my first school was a black school. Yeah, so and I struggled a lot with English, so I couldn't speak English. So when I got there, I did my entrance exam, and then they flew me back. And then instead of me going back to the shelter, I was taken. The family took me in. Bruce Howard's family. They took me in, and then they started grooming me. Took me to the dentist, fixed my teeth. Yeah, and then I went to the school. When I got to the school, it's a private school. Yeah, boy. So it's a school for like cream of the top notch. Yeah, the rich and famous.
I can imagine.
So I stuck out like a sore thumb. I stuck out like a sore thumb coming into that school. It was very difficult for me because bengisabisa abo mistress ngabo madam. We are born at So when the teachers would come in, hello madam, and then the programs were introduced to us, the extramural activities apart from the subjects that we do at school. Extramural activities, what we need to do after school. So I joined the drama group, and then I joined the music. I joined music, the pipe band.
So uqhubeka ke manje love of art yakho.
The
manje.
love of art, very.
Yeah.
So I took music, and then I took drama as well. Yeah. So with music, so they had a pipe band. So I joined the pipe band. So I was one of the first black people to play pipes at a professional level. My Scottish bagpipes. I even went to competitions where I became like third in the country for novice piping. Yeah, when I was competing against old men. Yeah, well.
Oh really, man?
So I basically mastered the instrument. Yeah, and then
Competing with. Okay,
competing with some of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I did well at school. I did swimming. I was a provincial swimmer. I played rugby. I did all the sports that the
You
black
played
kids.
rugby?
I played rugby. All the all the sports that the other black kids who were there, because we were like one of the first bunch of black
Of the
kids.
abayenza lezi into lezi ezenziwa ngabelungu.
Ngabelungu, yeah.
Yeah, because playing rugby, yeah, man.
My Scottish black bagpipes. I did. I played tennis. I played squash. I even did some horse riding, and also canoeing with my friend. So I did the things that were not normal for a black person to do at that time. Yeah, but yeah, and then I finished school. I became head boy. I became deputy head boy of the school, and I became the head boy of a hostel where we were staying. And then when I left school, I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna continue with my music and my creativity. So I decided to go study at Vega Brand Communications School. While I was at Vega, I met a lot of people in the industry, like Abos Java. I met a lot of people like Abo Ano Castens. I met even some guys who used to sing for the Palatones. Yeah. And then I ended up working in an advertising agency called TBWA Hunt Lascaris. And then while I was working at TBWA Hunt Lascaris, Gareth Cliff, he personally came, and then he took me in to be to be a trainee producer for his afternoon drive at 5FM.
No
at SABC.
way.
So I was taken from a job where I was working as a creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was taken straight to SABC. So
Wow.
So it was like coming from nothing to something.
You know what?
Yeah. And then I joined 5FM, but just before I could start working at 5FM, I got a call from the United Nations for me to go and represent Africa at the Young General Assembly at Washington, D.C. So I went to America. I spent like 3 weeks in America, and then came back to SA. As soon as I touched base in South Africa, I went straight to SABC. Then I was working with the likes of Gareth Cliff, ENF, Sasha Martinego, almost the old radio crew, 5FM. Yeah, and that's when I met. I'm an artist. About DJ Cleo. I started working with about Cleo. I started working with. I remember doing a song with Proverb. I must tell you. Yes, I did a song with Proverb. It was called "This Is My Sad Song." So basically, it was my song, and then the producer, Ano Kaiser. So Ano Kaiser, he said, okay, listen here, let me get Proverb to come in and hit a verse in your track. Yeah, well, I thought, okay, yeah, it's fine. So Proverb came through, he hit a verse into my track. And then there were also other artists who also were involved in the creation of that album. And unfortunately, Leo album, it did not get released because there were some papers that I did not sign. Yeah. And then after that, and then I became a DJ, and then I was playing in clubs. Yes. And then I was playing in clubs. I was playing at Vakamata, Vakaloka. There were clubs called Blue, but usually it was the white clubs. You know what I mean? So I had a name out there. So I was out. I was DJing. I was just playing usually white music. I was playing rave. I was playing drum and bass.
Wow.
So I was not playing the Oskido type music.
No
and
ways.
It was at that time.
So there was no way you could go.
and at the time, house music was at the hype. It was like, people were starting to love house music. About Numero Uno were coming out with about Glenn Lewis. Boskido were releasing church grooves. I'm there, I'm playing rave music with laser lights, lapana.
Yes, I
And
can
I was
imagine.
thinking, here I am getting somewhere. Yeah, Bona. So I think that's how that's where I failed at most, yeah, Bona, because the industry at the time, it was very selective as to who gets to play where and with who, and Uguti, who are you going to open for? Because I remember there were many other DJs I used to work with, yeah, Bona, like Abo Mlu Dlugulu, DJ Mlu. I think now he's at Metro FM now. I remember we used to even play Govets, DJing everywhere. Yeah. And then money was not coming in. I started doing radio ads, radio adverts. I started doing Vox Pox for radio adverts. And then still money was not coming in. And then, like as a black artist that time, let me not say artist, as a black entertainer at that time, it was very difficult, Yabona, because now we used to do gigs, and then they just pay us a little bit for that gig, but then they would look for a bigger name, even if when you are better than a certain person, they would still go for that the
For that,
favorite,
yeah.
really, umngani wabo, yeah. So basically, music here in SA, it's all about who you know. It's not really about the talent you have. If you'd walk even through Newtown, you'd walk through Braamfontein, anywhere in South Africa, you'd find talent that is so raw, beautiful talent,
Bruh.
but that talent is not exposed. You understand? Even now, on my way coming here, there was a guy playing a guitar at Gandhi Square. His voice, you could compare it with Brian McKnight. Do you understand?
Really?
You could compare it to Brian McKnight just because he doesn't know a certain person. A certain person cannot put him into the industry. You understand? So now there's so much talent. It's just ukuthi abantu who get there, then they start closing doors, and then they start bringing in their friends who can't even sing,
Eish,
who
mfethu.
can't even when it comes to acting as well, who can't even act. You understand? It's the same. This
Yeah,
coming to
ibuhlungu
our
ke na.
government too.
Yeah.
Same thing. Let umngani nje without qualifications.
Yeah,
and,
like kungangcono if uletha umngane oyazi uba uzokwenza lento kufuneka enzile like the right thing even if akunama qualifications, but then if uzoletha umngane ongazukwazi ukwenza lento lekufanele ayenze, then
Yeah.
it is the problem. Why kunabantu abahleli estradeni abakwazi like abacula, because like ungabona kwamampela like there are people aba talented, like umuntu acula ubona ukuthi uyacula nje akuna autotune, uzwe lapha mawulalela these songs kunama autotunes kunani, you understand?
Yes.
So it's, then why didn't you bring your guitar?
Today, I wanted to bring my guitar with me so I can jam a little bit. Yeah, but my guitar is locked somewhere in a safe, and the person who has the key, it was just a
It's
long
fine.
story.
I was
Yeah.
hoping ukuthi sizozwa man. I
Yeah.
was hoping, but
No, I
it's
was
okay.
hoping
It's
to
okay.
bring my
Next
guitar
time.
and play a
Next
little
time,
bit.
obvious.
So yeah, man. So Italian yami because of what I've been through. Because I saw music as a career.
Yeah.
Uyayibona lento leyo. And I'm talented. I can do it. I can, and then I was getting nowhere with music. Then I started doing odd jobs just to have an income.
Yeah.
And then these odd jobs I was doing, waitering, and then I had to now study for something else. I went to study for public management. Still, I'm not getting a job. Then I started getting all my general working jobs, like kusebenza in my factory. And then I started doing jobs like that, and then I got depressed. I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm trying to get somewhere with my music. When someone is talented and then they're not getting where they are supposed to go, they get depressed, they get suicidal. And then I ended up taking drugs. And I ended up taking drugs heavy, specifically heroin in Nyaupe. I ended up taking in Nyaupe, I was taken to rehab at first. The artists, they came together because they knew me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys who were working at Highfeld, guys who were working at Radio 2000, guys who were working, guys who had made it. Yeah, so they got
And the
me.
guys who knows you.
Yeah, the guys who know me.
Yeah.
They got together and they said, "Ah man, Sipho, now it looks like he's living on the streets. He's dirty." And then I was taken to rehab. And then when I came out of rehab, I was helped to start again. I wanted to start my life again. And then I ended up working at the Creative Council. I worked at the Creative Council for a while, and then the Creative Council got bought by another some French company. People were let go, and then depression again. I went straight back to depression.
No way.
Ended up homeless. Uyayibona le nto leyo. So yeah, I ended up homeless, and then ended up having to hustle my life once more again. Yeah.
Okay. Kule okwesithu ukuthi i-company lebo sibana kuyo ithengwe yenye i-company.
Yeah.
Did you go back to drugs?
I went straight back to drugs. Because the only backup I had was music. Yeah, but music and art. I'm also a fine artist. Yeah, so I'm also a fine artist, you know.
Kodwa hlena nawe awuphathanga again ne.
Yo, I didn't bring no canvas, nothing.
Okay,
Everything
I have a
was-
plan.
Yo, okay. Thanks. Yeah, Z. So depression hit me again once more, and then I ended up back on the streets. Yabona, homelessness. Yabo. So now I'm trying to get my life back together again. I'm trying to rebuild again. Yabona. But I still have those memories of the great life I lived. You know, the good things that I did. And now it's hard for me to go back there. So sometimes I would get to a point, Yoguti, what's the use of living? Is there even a chance, Yoguti, I can go back to the life I used to live? Am I going to be able to rise again from the dust? Yeah, but so hope, you lose hope, you lose yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, all I can tell you ukuthi indoda ilala namhlanje kusasiphinde ivuke.
Sasiphinde ivuke,
So
true,
ungawari,
yeah.
and you've got two beautiful kids.
Children. Yeah, thank you.
Then there's no way ukuthi unga give up. Kusona isikhathi so give up lesi. So you need to, whatever you do, uyazi ukuthi uyenzela wena and
Yes.
those little ones.
Yeah, thank you, Z. I also started a band. Yabona, like a couple of years ago, me and a couple of friends, we started a group called African Gang, AFG. So we've been releasing tracks. You can find us even on YouTube. We've got a YouTube page, so we keep posting our tracks there. But the guys I work with, Abomatike, Abomawe, to all the gents that I work with, the guys who are part of the African Gang, they are scared to send our music out there because we made a song. There's another thing. We made a song. It was a Marapenta song. We made this track and then we wanted to push it out. We wanted to use that song as our entry song back into the industry. Basically, we're just trying to get back into the industry. And then when we sent our song, the next thing, 2 months later, our song is trending on TikTok.
No way.
I'm telling you, our song is trending on TikTok and people are using it as a background song for these fight scenes. Like Abafazi Mabalo, La Payana. And we could hear, man. So the guys call me, hey, man, Sipho, go on TikTok and just check this video. Isn't this our track? We just, and then I listened, I said, man, this is our song. No. This is a song by African Gang. And then this song was trending, and then people were posting videos on TikTok with that song. You understand? And then we didn't know about the rights of music. What do we need to do to copyright? One of those kind of things. Yeah, so we could have been big by now.
Oh man.
honestly. Yeah. So now we just have like the small studio nyana. So now we're scared to even to even send out our music to someone. So that's why we're creating our own thing. We're doing it the Tyler Perry way. Ukuthi yazi ukuthini, we do it ourselves. We're gonna use our own money, promote our own music. Yeah. So everyone is just trying to make sense, and then maybe someday, by God's grace, khona uzowina iLotto or
Yazini.
athola isipane sharp,
Yazini.
and then yabona, and then everything can come together. Yeah.
Shit. So that song nayiluza nje kanjalo nayiluza la for TikTok. Aniyazi ukuthi ubani oyithathile or
Siluza Joe, we tried to contact the TikTok, we tried to contact even we even phoned the people go TikTok, but they could not give us yabona who's the original person who came with that track. And it was just in the beginning when TikTok just came in. Yabo.
okay.
Yeah.
Yo, bruh. That's painful.
I know.
Like really it is.
I know. But it was not remade. It was the original track.
Yeah.
Yabo. Yeah.
Yo, it's difficult out there.
Yeah,
It's
it's difficult.
for an
Absolutely.
artist in fact. It is.
Yeah.
Okay, you said something about that Men in White, something like that. Oh, should we talk about it next time we meet?
Now we can talk about it. You know what? So I'm changing my name. I'm rebranding myself. Yabo. I'm rebranding myself from Sipho Mathebula to Tash Alabaster. So I'm gonna be coming through Vele with brand new style, brand new music. Yabona. Yeah.
Okay.
So that I can just build the brand back up, and then we'll see where it goes. Yeah.
Right. That's nice. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Let's just close it for now. Then sizobona ukuthi next time sikhuluma sithini, maybe this Tash Alabaster izobe say exister, and then we see. You understand?
It will exist actually. Yeah.
Okay, ufuna ukuthini ke
Coming.
kuma artists out there like abazama ukupusha ukuthi you know what, we've got this blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I think as I'm an artist, because most of them they're really down and out, and I can honestly say some of them cannot even afford phones. There's this lady who's an actress right now, as we speak right now. She's busy on Facebook. She's asking for people to help her financially. Yeah. So it's either you are an actor, you're an artist, you're a fine artist, you are you're a designer, anything in the artistic industry. It's not easy out there. So it's always best for us to come to this platform, especially here by you, Zine, to speak about these things, because the more we speak about it, the more people get to know ukuthi kunzima out there. And then it doesn't mean that if umuntu they are now poor, they have no money, they are living on the streets, it doesn't mean the talent is gone. The talent is
It's
still
still
there,
there.
and the talent is still raw, and you're only going to find if that person is even better than when they were famous.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
That one is powerful.
Yeah. So second chances never stop. We can say it's a million chances all the time. So even if you see an artist who's broken down, you don't come there taking pictures. Awubheke beka famous manje akasana next. Awumbheke sekanjani bekacula bekayini. That person has not lost their talent, people.
It's still there. Just
That talent is still there.
Step nje
Yeah.
manje ekumele ukuthi asindlule.
Yeah.
Right.
Just need a helping hand, basically. Ukuthi
We all
umsuse
do.
lapho, take that person back to the studio, and you're gonna see magic.
We all do.
Yeah.
Because like even if you are not an artist, we are khona ukuthi uwe somewhere somehow, then you just
100%.
need ama artist wona iproblem ukuthi wonke umuntu uyazi, wonke umuntu uzoyazi ukuthi manje kuyenzakalani, but kumuntu normal there's no way ukuthi uzoyazi ukuthi kuyenzakalani.
Sure.
Mama bani.
Yeah.
Hey Sipho, umuntu ofuna ukuxhumana nawe,
I'm on Facebook. You can just go to Facebook, search Sipho Mathebula. This face really, no. The country knows it. So you'll find me, definitely. Just Sipho Mathebula, you'll find me. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, let's
Thank
communicate.
You so much. Thank you so much,
Sure,
Hlena.
thanks.
And kukhona something ebidlala yakho on SABC 1.
Yeah.
What was it?
We Now or never. It's
Now or never?
yeah, it's a documentary about me. It's basically a
yeah.
documentary about my life from where I came from to where I ended up, how I felt, and how I'm trying to rebuild my life again.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, Mfethu.
Thanks, Z.
Thank you. I really appreciate ukuthi ube lana. Thank you.